A 34-year-old school teacher gets caught in a car with her 13-year-old student, and during the court hearing, it is revealed that the teacher is pregnant with the boy's child. And that's not all. This case gets so bizarre that it becomes one of the craziest cases I've ever covered. The two of them get arrested more than once, as the teacher gets pregnant multiple times. By the end of this video, you'll find yourself in a moral dilemma, questioning what is right and wrong. So, please subscribe to this channel, and let's dive in. Mary Kay Letourneau was born in California in 1956 and was a very beautiful and popular middle school teacher. She was loved by all her students because of her cheerful and lively nature. During her college days, she dated a guy named Steve, and due to an unexpected pregnancy, they ended up getting married. After finishing college, Mary took a teaching job, and soon they had 4 children, whom they took care of together. It seemed like a pretty normal, happy family, but only from afar. Mary's parents forced her to marry Steve because of her college pregnancy, which made her married life troubled. Her husband, Steve, was involved in extramarital affairs and was financially exploitative. Their marital life wasn't stable. At this point, a boy from Shorewood Elementary School came into her life. He was a talented artist with a troubled background. His parents were divorced, and he was one of 17 siblings. Lacking in studies, he started taking extra classes after school and spent a lot of time with Mary. She appreciated not only his studies but also his artistic talent, and she was very encouraging. This seemingly innocent teacher-student bond soon evolved into a very problematic relationship. It was the summer of 1996 when Mary, at 34 years old, took Vili to an art camp where their platonic relationship began to blur. On the night of June 18, 1996, police spotted Mary and Vili in a parking lot. As they approached for questioning, they noticed Mary quickly shifting to the driver's seat, while Vili pretended to sleep in the back. When asked for identification, both gave false names, and Vili lied about his age, claiming to be 18 instead of 13, and insisting there was no inappropriate behavior. Mary fabricated a story, saying she had a fight with her husband that night, and Vili, a family friend, was staying with them. Vili supposedly ran away after witnessing their argument, prompting Mary to follow him. The police didn't fully believe their story, sensing something was off. They arrested both and took them to the station, also calling Vili's mom. When asked what to do next, she, unaware of Vili's true age and the situation, suggested leaving him with Mary. So, on June 18th, they narrowly escaped arrest, and their brazen hookups continued. During this time, they even exchanged love letters. Unlike the case of Brittany Zamora, their illicit relationship was not kept secret. There were actually more suspicious behaviors in Mary and Steve's actions, making everyone suspicious. Steve received all the letters, and things escalated. A relative of Mary's husband informed the police, and Mary was finally arrested on March 4th, 1997. In court, Mary pleaded guilty to second-degree child charges. But wait, before the hearing ended, something shocking was revealed. Mary was actually pregnant with Vli's child. Yes, Mary, a 35-year-old teacher, wasn't careful with her actions at all. On May 29, 1997, Mary gave birth to her child. By then, the court hadn't sentenced her yet. Eventually, the judge sentenced her to 65 years of prison time. But after a successful appeal, it was reduced to only 6 months, followed by 3 years of intense therapy. Considering the nature of Mary's offense, this sentence might seem very light, but she was also diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and she gave a convincing performance in court. You can see for yourself. I did something I had no right to do, morally or legally. I give you my word, it will not happen again. Mary's plea agreement prevented her from meeting Vlee or their 5 children. Her daughter was taken care of by Vlee's mother, and Mary even allowed Vlee to date other women while she was in jail. Mary's mental health began to deteriorate in prison, which isn't uncommon for prisoners. But here's the shocking part. This story doesn't end with Mary's sentence or pregnancy. It gets even more bizarre. One would assume that after spending 6 months in prison, Mary would realize her situation, right? Surprisingly, no. Just 2 weeks after her prison time ended, police once again caught Vlee and Mary in a car. When the police asked for their identification, they gave fake names again and insisted that nothing was going on. But once again, they had engaged in sexual activity in the car. In February 1998, the judge revoked her previous plea agreement and sentenced her to 75 years in prison for violating the no-contact order. And the most bizarre part, the crime, the sentence, and Mary's pregnancy. Despite everything, they hadn't been careful, and Mary was pregnant again. Talk about repeating itself. This time, while serving her 75-year sentence on October 16, 1998, Mary gave birth to her second child. Mary gave birth to a daughter, and her custody also went to Vlee and his mother. Now, Vlee and his mom were raising his 2 children together. To support his growing family, Vlee had to give up on his dream of becoming an artist. He dropped out of high school and became a laborer, working daily wage jobs. Their situation continued to deteriorate day by day. Mary's prison time was finally over, and she was released, while Vlee had now turned 21. He managed to convince the court to lift the no-contact order, meaning he and Mary could now meet without any restrictions. After that, they did something completely unexpected. They got married on May 20th, 2005. After their marriage, Mary and Vlee made numerous television appearances and gave interviews where Mary admitted that she didn't regret one bit of what she did with him when he was younger. She openly stated, "I was who I was by age, and he was who he was by age." Unfortunately, their marriage only lasted a few years, as they divorced in August 2019. After the divorce, something truly heartbreaking happened. Mary was diagnosed with colon cancer, and tragically, she passed away in July 2020. Surprisingly, while Mary was ill and undergoing treatment, it was Vlee who took complete care of her. Despite their divorce, he stayed by her side during her final days and took care of her fully. This entire situation was incredibly complicated, raising a lot of debates about what's right or wrong. What are your thoughts on this case and their relationship? Feel free to share in the comments. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video with a new case.